It's Radio 2 and a very warm welcome now to my guest on the show, and that is Madonna. It's very, very nice to talk to you because it's been ages.
Yes. How many years? How many decades?
Oh, how many decades? Don't start with the ages and things straight away. Let's not go there.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
It's
but
okay.
No, but I feel like I've talked to you many times throughout the years, but there's been a longer stint than usual.
It has, but that's because you haven't had an album out for a while. So this is the reason that we're talking now. And we nearly spoke because you did the Brits, and then we nearly spoke, but events of the whole Brits kind of took over.
Yes, but a cape got in between us.
A cape did get in between us. And a couple of, were they Japanese dancers that you said that kind of tried to tear the cape from you?
Yeah, well, that was their job. They did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
However, the cape had not been untied from around my neck, so.
Yeah. Did the fall have any lasting physical effect? Did it? Because you fell hard.
Well, I did, although, it looked like I did. But at the end of the day, I didn't actually hurt myself, which was kind of a miracle.
Yeah, I was reading you put that down to your physical strength, a lot of it, and you've fallen from horses more than once.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of just, I knew, like, my instincts kicked in, and when I felt myself falling backwards, it sort of tucked into a ball kind of thing.
Yeah. And
that helped a lot, but then also, I think I just got lucky.
Yeah, yes, because you really could have done some serious damage.
I went all the right places, and nothing happened. More like a shock than anything.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of kept going. And as I was dancing, I was like, well, I know I just fell, and maybe something's going to start hurting in a minute, but nothing did.
Wow. So you've not had to have any physio or anything?
I did hit the back of my head, and so everyone was worried about that and kept me up all night. The night between that and taping Jonathan Ross, so I was a bit the next day, because I was so sleep deprived, not because I fell. I had a really hard time answering questions. I was like, huh?
I couldn't believe. I know that you had to go back and you had to go straight in the next day and do the Jonathan Ross thing. I couldn't believe how.
No, I know that was really rough on me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Have you watched it back? Because I know Jonathan tried to make you watch it back, and you were just like, "No, I really don't want to see this." Have you watched it since?
I haven't. I don't like watching me on anything. To tell you the truth, I hate watching myself because the experience of the actual thing that I did is never what I see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd rather just have the fantasy in my mind, what I thought it was.
Okay, so this is because you have this vision and you are a perfectionist, and would you disappoint yourself if you watched it back? Is that what you're saying?
No, not necessarily. I just think that performing is a physical experience. It's a physical, emotional experience that it's all inside of you. So what gets captured, they happen to get a certain angle or they don't capture that right moment. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not necessarily a disappointment, but it's never what you experience. So I'd rather just live with my real experience versus what I always consider to be the less than exciting version of what they captured.
I know what you mean. Otherwise, you just
You know
start.
what I mean?
Yeah, you'd start beating yourself up about it or beating other people up about it, and just move on. Be brilliant in your head, and then just move on.
Or it's not even like beating yourself up. It's like imagine you're madly in love with someone and you're laying in their arms and you're making out with them and you're having the time of your life, and then you're feeling it, right? You're experiencing it, and then someone films it, and then you watch the film, okay?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's not how I felt. You know what I mean? It would somehow limit it.
Yeah, the essence of it is not there.
Yes, that's what I mean.
I'm with you. You've just taken me to a very strange place. I was there, kind of imagining.
I was trying to think of another like visceral, passionate experience that is somehow not best represented if someone films it.
I know what you mean. You're at home at the moment. I'm intrigued to know what your daily routine is, your morning routine, because I remember you coming in and co-presenting when I was at Radio 1. Do you remember back in the old days when we were both at Radio 1? Mm-hmm. And you had that... you had a bottle of green tea and you were just going, green tea is the future, this is the way forward. And nobody had particularly heard of green tea. Now everybody drinks green tea. So
yeah, no, I don't.
Do you not? Why? God damn, I've just started drinking it.
Coffee and espresso.
Coffee and espresso?
No, I still drink it, but not as much as I used to.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, morning routine, because I guess the family are all with you?
Yeah, but, it depends on what I'm doing, because, morning routine when I'm taping shows and running around working is like I get shot out of a cannon. But today, because some of my kids are home from school and some of them are not, it's much more relaxed. I got to sleep in, which is really rare for me.
What's your idea of a sleep-in? Sorry, what's your idea of a lie-in? How late?
Sleeping till 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's a lie-in.
Yeah.
Do you do the school run sometimes? Do you get to do that?
Yes, which is, always hard for me. Because no matter what time I get up in the morning, I always get to bed late.
Okay.
I'm a night owl, and it's hard for me to sleep. So often getting up in the morning is like it's, I just would rather put a bag over my head.
The school run is never a pleasurable experience, is it? No, mine's normally...
No.
It's not. Mine's normally filled with Frozen. Have you had the Frozen experience?
The film?
As in the film, yeah, because we drive to school and my daughter Coco, she's 6, and she's just singing full blast. There's loads and loads of parents who probably listen to this show right now have had this experience of just singing Let It Go constantly.
Yes, my children are obsessed with the song too, yes.
Are they?
Yes. That and lots of other songs on the radio.
Okay.
It's shocking to me that they know every word to every song.
Are they all into music? Or one of them more than the other?
Yeah. Yeah.
They all are. What's your house consumed with? What kind of things? Have you got a sport going on in your house? Because you've got kids with such a wide range of ages as well.
Well, my one son, David's really into soccer.
Yeah.
So there's lots of that. We have a little garden in the backyard. There's a lot of soccer and broken things in the backyard next to the soccer ball. And my other son's now into skateboarding, which doesn't happen around this house, but it happens downtown and around Manhattan, anywhere he can jump on a skateboard.
Yeah. Has he broken anything yet?
Yes, many things. Not in this house, but yes.
And then your daughter, Mercy, she's the Frozen one, yeah?
Well, her and David are into Frozen.
Oh.
But she's a gymnast, and she plays piano. Everyone plays an instrument in the house. That's required.
Okay, that's a rule.
That's a rule.
Okay.
Yep. Must play instrument or will be expelled.
Disinherited.
Yeah.
You've been talking about your exes and boyfriends and things, but the thing that resonated with me the most...
I don't remember that.
No, you... US...
Only because Jonathan Ross probably probed a little bit too much.
No, US Weekly, you talked about Vanilla Ice, I think?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, okay. There, I was just going to say, the thing that resonated with me the most was that you said the only time that your heart was truly broken was when Lourdes went to college and left home.
Yeah.
Can I...
Well, I'll say that. I didn't say that was the only time. I just said it was the most intense, heartbreaking pain. More than breaking up with a boyfriend.
Yeah, can I ask you to revisit that place for me again? Because I know a lot of people who listen to this show will have been through that or will be going through that right now. And I was exactly the same as you. It's just horrendous. Were you dreading the process of it kind of leading up to it? And then when she left, what were you like?
I was, but I didn't really plan for how much it was going to hurt. Yeah, and honestly, you can't really prepare for it. It doesn't matter what people say. To grow up with somebody for 18 years and have them in your life every second of the day, and to be so you don't realize how attached you are until they go. Did you do the dropping off and then walking back into the house and just having that feeling of she's gone, she's not here? Mm-hmm. All the cliches. Did you cry at everything you watched on television and every song that you heard? Yep. I was a soppy mess. Called her up and cried. Sent her ridiculously tragic text messages, stuff like that. This is where we're chatting to Madonna. I spoke to her and she was in the kitchen at her home in New York, and we had a bit of a chat about all various different things. You've heard the first part of the interview. The second bit, I started by asking Madonna about her upcoming world tour, which I know a lot of people want to know more details about. It all starts in August. Honestly, I'm just in the planning stages of the show. I like people to have a mind-blowing experience when they watch my shows. Yeah. Okay. From the ridiculous to the sublime, from the big to the small. I can't get into any more specifics than that. Okay. That sounds good. Sounds interesting. And you wouldn't want me to. I want people to be surprised. Yes. Okay. Fine. So, do you have a mood board when you're either when you're making a record or when you're doing the tour? Do you have kind of ideas of? Yeah. So, talk to me about the mood board that would have been behind Rebel Heart. Well, the mood board for Rebel Heart was more about like people that I wanted to write with, and people that I wanted to produce, like sounds and stuff. And it wasn't necessarily connected to feelings or what the content of the songs. It was really about songwriting or, you know what I mean, like people I wanted to work with. And so who was on the hit list? Who were the main people that you really wanted to work with? Well, like I wanted to work with Avicii's writing team because I liked a lot of the songs that he had done, and they turned out to be amazing. And I wanted to work with Toby Gad and Mozella. I liked a lot of the songs that they'd written. Then I wanted to, as far as producers go, I was really, really into working with Diplo, which I ended up working with. So, it kind of was kind of all over the place because I didn't really know what my record was going to end up sounding like, and I didn't go into it with a specific plan. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I just really my first goal and my most important goal was just to write good songs. And there were some people that I didn't end up working with that I wanted to work with, but it's all got to do with scheduling and stuff like that.
And it was going to be a double album, is that right? At one point?
Yeah, I wanted to because I found myself writing. When I was writing stuff, it was like I found myself going from one extreme to the next. Like, I started off writing really personal, heartfelt songs that were kind of like reading out loud from my diary or my journal, and then I would write a song like Madonna or Unapologetic with Diplo, and I thought, wow, this is like, they're so opposite. So then I thought, well, I'll just have like a two-sided record.
Yeah.
And of course, that didn't work out. Now they're all mixed in together, and somehow I feel like they somehow all seamlessly connected to one another because at the end of the day, they are all an extension of my personality.
Yeah, and it's all about the texture of the album, isn't it? Why did? Sorry, just elaborate for me why it didn't end up as being a double album.
I think that my record company thought it might confuse people. Like, which one should they buy, or I don't know. From a marketing point of view, I don't think they thought it was a good idea.
And is it a fun album to be performing? Because you've been doing various different shows.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. So far I've loved doing Living for Love and all the different versions, and I love singing Ghost Town. It's a very rewarding song to sing.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been really fun.
Okay. Can I just ask some of the other music and other artists that you're enjoying particularly at the moment? Are there any British artists that you're particularly taken with?
Well, I love Sam Smith.
Yeah, isn't he the sweetest person that you could meet?
Oh my God, he's so sweet. I hope he always stays that way. He's lovely. Yeah, so I like him.
How do you listen to music? What's the system at home? Have you got? Do you have vinyl? Do you have just great big sound systems?
Teenage children who play music non-stop, whether I like it or not, at all hours of the day.
Okay.
This morning I woke up to Nas, Wu-Tang Clan, and lots of... My son's really into 90s hip-hop, but he's also going through a Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin phase, but that's usually in the evening. So in the morning is hip-hop, and the night is 70s rock.
Nice. Does that actually influence what the sound of the music that you're into, or the record that you're making? Do you think some of it seeps in? Not saying you're going to do a prog rock album or anything like that.
I'm not now because I'm not working on my record. I think when I was working on my record before, my daughter was still home, and I think she's really into electronic music, and she was constantly turning me on to this. Check this out, check that out. Listen to this sound, listen to this drop. Oh my God, it's so amazing. Yeah. Lots of music getting played in long car rides. So I think maybe subliminally it affected me.
Yeah, and so do they give feedback? Have you had feedback from your kids about the record or the things that if they reviewed the album for you?
Yeah. They're really into the stuff that I did with obviously Diplo. They're huge Diplo fans. But my son Rocco has really eclectic taste, and he's really into the more acoustic-y sounding stuff, like Devil Pray, for instance.
Yeah.
So, and then David's really a romantic, so he loves Joan of Arc, and they pretty much know all the words to all my songs.
As they would, I'm sure they've heard it a few times. Would you write an autobiography? Final question. Have you considered writing an autobiography?
I'm sure I will one day. I've got so many tales to tell.
I guess your albums are, it'll be quite a big seller. I'm sure your albums, though, are kind of your autobiography, but that is definitely a book that people would go for.
But it's just one slice of my life. If I wrote my book, it would be from start to finish, and that's a whole lot of ground to cover.
And would you be holding back at all, or do you think, you need to, people deserve to know everything, warts and all?
I don't know. I think I would tell the stories that I felt were valuable to tell, that were inspiring, that people could relate to, I'm a storyteller. That's what I think of myself as. And I would share stories that I think would inspire people.
Fantastic. Thank you. Listen, hopefully we'll see you when you get over here to do the UK tour. It'll be good to see you in the flesh. And thanks for talking to us.
Yes, that'd be great.
All right. Take care, you.
You.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, Jo.